Who all likes to break the rules? Who likes to follow the rules? Where are you at? Which side are you at? In this video today, we are talking about 5 watercolor rules that I think that you should break. So I'm going to teach you how to do it, especially if you're a beginner. It can be hard to kind of break outside of what you've been told, but creativity is really what is born and practiced when you do your own thing. And we're also going to be painting some beautiful lilacs today. And friends, before we start painting, I have a freebie. If you'd like to learn to let go of perfectionism in your art, 4 watercolor exercises and mindfulness practices to do just that, click the link below and I'll send you the free guide. So let's get to painting. All right, we're spraying it down. We're getting ready to do some lilacs today. I am excited about this one. I'm usually excited about things, but I also want to talk to you guys about those 5 things, right? I wish I knew before I started painting, so we'll get into that real soon, but I am using a number 12 round and a number 6 round brushes today. So we're going to start with our really loose watercolor florals, and I'm going to make them very billowy today. I think, you know what? Should we start with this one? Let's start with a smaller brush. So I'm going to wet that brush. We're going to take a deep breath because we're going to remind ourselves that this painting doesn't have to be perfect, right? It just has to be, when I say it has to be, that puts pressure on another way. So, but we want it to be fun. So this is a very smoky kind of purpley color here. It's going to make a little puddle right there. I'm also going to grab my quinacridone, which is a weird word. Purple, and so I've got that happening. And I also like to grab some water, grab a little bit of this ultramarine blue. So anyway, make my own little purple, blue, purple, whatever. And they're all mixing together and that's fine. So what I want to do is actually start to put my blooms in. This is the Pinterest photo that I'm using today. And I think it's just fun to have something like this and then just do your own thing. So if you're feeling a certain kind of way about your art, like maybe it's not coming out like the reference photo, or maybe you are just doing it from your memory, try something different. You know, try a reference and try to make it your own. Don't try to copy it. I mean, you can, but if that's frustrating you, we'll talk about that in a second. If that's frustrating you, maybe it's not the way to go. So I'm gonna make these blooms all over. I've got my purple paint. And we're going to start by just dabbing in some color. And so I'm kind of looking at my photos here, just making these little spiky marks because I'm going to actually add water to these and just diffuse them a bit. So I'm just going upwards where I want my little branches to be. So you can see I'm working fast. Just put down some marks, just see what happens. Don't be afraid of the paint. So I've got that. It's kind of this example here. Let's clean the brush, dab it, and then let's start to just go around and just kind of mess it up. All right, we're moving this around, more water. We're making it really light, but it's going to have that beautiful mixture of the light and dark values. And value is just the lightness and the darkness of a color. So look at how pretty that is. When it dries, it's going to be very light, billowy, and then you can just take some color, wet on wet, and pop in some color. So now we're going to get this diffusion in here, but yet some beautiful mixes that we just can't control. And I think that's a really good exercise. You can go outside the water too. It's a good exercise learning that you cannot control everything. And that's okay. Let some of them pop out so that they're not just so perfect looking. And let's move on, okay? So if you need to rewatch that, go ahead and slow it down, try it yourself. But I just wanted to demo that as we get to our purple. So let's grab some more purple. I like this billowy look. There's so many ways to do flowers. We're just having fun with this. So let's try again. This one's gonna go pointing downwards. And so we're just gonna make some little marks. You can see I didn't need to do any perfect marks here, right? So just go for it. What I'm thinking about is that cone shape, the eventual cone shape that I want with the flower. So this is a project that is not about perfect, but it's really about joy. Can you have some fun and joy while you're creating these crazy flowers? So what's the list, right? The things I wish I knew before I started watercolor painting. And this is the first of a 2-part little series. So stay tuned for the second one next week. But, or maybe it's this week, we'll see. But my question is, what are some things that I wish that I had learned, right? So I started to think about that, making this video. And the first thing I put on my list is just the fact that watercolor is gonna fight you. Grab your clean, damp brush and let's do some smudging. It's gonna fight you, right? And that's why today this exercise is so important for letting go, because your expectation is, you know what, I should be able to control this medium. And I think that there are ways that we can kind of be in charge. But friends, there's so much that watercolor is gonna do. It's gonna drive you nuts. So just lean into it. That's looking fun. I'm going to grab more blue and make this a different shade of purple. So the more you fight watercolor, we're just gonna keep doing the same thing over and over, friends, okay? And I do have to add some wet on here. I'm just gonna actually make this easier for me and just kind of dab out the shape that I'm going for. And it's a cone, fill it in, wider on the bottom, skinnier on the top. And so, yeah, fighting it just ends up making you frustrated. So that's why you can kind of just sit back and say, okay, what can I learn? And that's why I'm always saying, look for what you love, learn from what you don't love, and just don't repeat it next time. Let's grab some wet on wet here. Do some wet on wet, boop, just a little bit of extra color. And let's do that for this one over here. If you're liking the video, give it a like. Give me a comment so far. How's it going? How you feeling? I know this is a fast one, but it's kind of that repetitive over and over, doing the same thing. So you can start to get like this feeling of, I kind of know what I'm doing. So try to speed it up with me. Just dabby dab dab in a cone shape. Take your water, dab your brush, and spread it out. And just be kind of quick and messy. And a little more blue. Let's try that again. Let's have one that kind of goes out this way. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Just a little different thing. So what's the second thing? The second thing is that you don't need to fix everything. I wish I had learned that, because I, as a person who developed anxiety probably from a young age, I just feel like I have this strong sense that everything has to be perfect. And so when I tell myself that, I just get to that place where I'm very frustrated. And that's why this exercise, this little exercise of letting go, is very healthy and hopefully teaches you something about leaning into things you can't control. Because if you think that, you have to control something, like, for example, if there's a bloom and you're like, ooh, I don't like the bloom, let me just try to dab it up, let me start over. We're telling ourselves the bloom is not okay. But what if the bloom is something that you can embrace? Maybe you can decide, you know what, it's going to be part of my texture. And maybe I'll intentionally make another bloom at a different time just to help myself to be okay with it. Okay, so I don't know, just something to think about within all that. And let's see, let's start with our vase. I'm just gonna do a real simple kind of clear vase. So I'm gonna take a classic, really light blue, and we're just gonna kind of draw it out. So it's gonna be a square, but you're seeing the corner in front of you. So just do a straight down right here. Then we're gonna do a line, a diagonal line going backwards, okay? It's not gonna be perfect, so don't worry if it doesn't look perfect. Let's do another one over this way, about matching it up. Okay, we've got those two lines going up. And then we need to go up this way. The box. So a little bit more over here. And just kind of disappears into wherever. So it's slightly diagonal. If you want it to be a little bit more, you can bring it down and you can make this part thicker. It's a little bit easier on one side for me than the other. You might notice that as well for you. And I'm going to leave it open because I'll put in some leaves soon. Let's start adding the leaves in. Actually, I want to put in my water line too. So it's kind of a weird thing, but you're going to do a line slightly going up. And then on the other side, same thing, kind of going up. And you've got this line here that's attached to it. And then in the back, you're also seeing the water line. So just kind of like that. Now I'm just going to sweep and swoop around, adding in some color below the water line. Let's put in our leaves. All right, so I'm just grabbing some green at this point. Whatever green you like, and just start adding in some C-curve shapes. I'm going to do that a little bit slower so you can see it. A little bit easier. Curving to the left with a little point. Curving to the right. Filling it in. All right. A little bit of different green I'm picking up here. I told you I was going to put some leaves in right there. If you want it to be varied, then you can grab a different type of green, or you can keep it all the same. There's going to be some green in here too. So just swiping some little bit of greenery here. And then this one is a slightly different green. Sometimes I just do some little quick streaks like that. Take off some paint. Let's add in some more greens over here. So the third thing that I wish I knew before I started was that over planning your composition, your pieces, can actually make your paintings worse. So what do I mean by that? So if we spend a whole bunch of time trying to plan beforehand, sometimes we end up leaving that session very disappointed because we expected it to turn out exactly how we wanted. So, you know, maybe someone spends a lot of time sketching and getting everything ready and perfect for this whole thing that they're going to do. And then little swipes here. And then it just doesn't turn out the way that they were hoping. Because they spent so much time, I think it's a lot more disappointing than if they had just sat down and said, you know what, I'm just going to play with some paint on here and see what happens. Like, for example, this bleed is happening here. I cannot control it. I could say it's driving me nuts, or I can just lean into it and say, you know what, that's fine. I didn't plan it. Watercolor does what it does. It helps us let go. So how are you feeling about your painting so far? It's coming together. I'm going to put in some stems. This is wet, so it's going to spread. We are going to be okay with that as we talk about the rest of the things on our list. So I'm going to grab some really concentrated brown here. I want to tell you my fourth thing that I wish I knew as a beginner is that copying is part of learning and it's okay. So, but there is a caveat to that as well. Let's put in some stems. Just some wonky bits. Stick straight, and then some weird ones. Just putting that in. All right, I'm gonna leave it about like that. I also want to add in some greens so things are all connected. And I'm liking the beautiful florals over here with the leaves over here with the contrast of those dark greens and the dark stems and then the light billowiness. It's just fun. I'm tempted to add in some dark over the top, but I actually like that lightness. I'm gonna grab some green. Dab your brush, and then you're going to start putting in your stem. This will make it look more real, more lifelike. So just thin stem, light pressure all the way through the middle. And then you're just going to add little stems that go diagonal to connect the blooms. We're going to do this over and over so you can get used to it. It's going to be something that hopefully will relax you and just lighten up your stress. All right, so why do we copy when we're starting or at any time? We are trying to learn a skill, and you're probably copying me right now. Maybe you're doing your own version, or maybe you're copying what I'm doing, most likely copying, and that's great. I copied so many tutorials to learn, and it helps you build that confidence. I remember working from my own brain was so stressful, but when I could copy something step by step, I was able to come out with a painting that I loved and that I was proud of. So copying really gives us a grounding space to develop our skills, and it's very important. However, you don't have to copy forever, and it actually builds your confidence when you don't copy. So if you're a beginner, my recommendation would be to copy some, and then also some of the time work out your own reference and see how it feels, because that's going to help you build the confidence you need. But if you're just starting out and you don't feel like it comes out well, by all means, just continue to do tutorials and learn that way. So maybe the balance of that, but it is tough when you're starting. All right, so I've got all those in, and I do have to say one thing. If you are posting on social media, something that you have copied from another artist, there is a copyright law on a painting, or I guess the rule is, once an artist puts out an original composition, it is now copywritten or copyrighted. And so you are not able to reproduce that and call it your own. So if you do copy something, make sure to credit the artist. If you post online, don't try to sell something also that another artist has created. That's their own work. But in terms of copying, I just messed up. In terms of copying, friends, use it to learn and to grow. It's about learning. I put a stem in the wrong direction, so I just took a clean damp brush and I swiped it away. Let's do a few more stems. One right there, one right there. I like to do two, connecting the leaf, if you can see it, if it's possible. I just did, two the opposite way. A little stem there. You don't have to have stems for everything. It's just a preference. And then we're gonna do a little splatter. And I would say for the fifth thing I wish I had known is that your mindset really affects your painting more than your skill level in some ways. Now, this is something that, I've heard a lot. I didn't know it. And I personally don't quite agree. I don't think it fully, explains that, and it affects it more than your skill level. Let's go ahead and put some dark in the leaves. But I think it plays a big role in how it affects how your painting comes out. Because if you have, skill is obviously important. Let's just add in a little bit of dark. Skill is also important, but your confidence is too. So those two together build that confidence in what you are doing, and it boosts you. If you have confidence, it boosts your skill. If you don't believe in yourself, it's discouraging. So it's kind of that balance between those two, right? And also we think, my goodness, just the best paper is what's going to help advance my skill. And so often it's really having the skill is going to make your work end up looking so much better because you know what's going on. But it takes practice, friends. So I hope this was fun for you. You took a deep breath. If you want to purchase this, it's on my Etsy. But friends, thank you for painting with me today, and I just hope you really enjoyed. Well, isn't it fun to break the rules? So I want you to tell me below, what was one of those rules that you have followed that you are going to be committing to breaking, and that you're going to try to loosen up and not worry so much about the way to do things. I want to remind you guys about a couple things. I do have a free class tomorrow, so sign up. Link is down below. We're going to paint together. Also, my free guide, if you haven't signed up, please sign up for that. I'm very excited to gift this to you, and I hope that it'll help you in your watercolor journey. Etsy right now, the link below will give you 50% off my original paintings, so that's fun if you have some gift ideas that you're needing to purchase some things for someone. That was a weird sentence. And finally, my waitlist for Italy for a retreat in 2027 is also linked in the description. So if you want to get on that waitlist, just in case you think you can go or you really want to go, then sign up for that. And friends, if you don't know what to paint next, paint this composition. It's just going to help you let go, enjoy the process more. Happy painting, happy mental health. Mwah.